It is November 14th of 2020. I don't know when you'll see it, but I'm definitely Mark with a C doing a pocket show. I'm not in the world's best mood though. I mean, we all wake up like that some days, right? Mark with a C totally woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. I could blame stuff, but it wouldn't matter because, well, what I'm blaming isn't true. Sometimes you just wake up in those spots, right? So I can tell you that if you saw the last Pocket Show, and now you're looking at this one, and these are all done chronologically, you can see that this camera is a lot choppier than the one before. You might have noticed that there were some glitches and stuff in the prior ones. Yeah, literally in the middle of a live stream, the camera, flat shooby doo down, fucking died on me, so all people saw was while I continued to make noise and stuff. So, here are some songs that I am working through today for reasons that may not be interesting. At least the first three don't get performed very often. And then, as a result, I will, because these are not exactly maybe what you think of when you think about the recording act, interactive singer, songwriter, storyteller, Mark with a C. I will do one towards the end that you heard at pretty much every gig. I mean, for about 10 years at least, you know. I didn't do them all up front. Weird how that works, time and ideas and things of that nature. So, to give you an idea of the kind of world that I currently inhabit, I mean, I don't know what yours is like, and I hope it's a lot better and happier than the one I'm in. Right now, there's a person who they call the president, and he refuses to accept that he's not gonna be. And then there's someone else who, at least numbers, I'm no polling expert or anything, but it appears that they very much won. And it also would appear that they um, creamed that president. So, I don't know. Everything's just uncertain. Everybody feels a little on pause. Plus, these diseases. I mean, there's a virus running rampant. This is, God, I hope you're not dealing with it still when this goes live. But that is decimating every place I love. Um, Not just me, but the person who portrays me, Mark Sardorius. It's really hard to get up in the morning and want to play like silly songs right now. It's tough. I mean, I did just last night. See, last night was Friday the 13th in 2020, which is one of those what could possibly go wrong sort of deals, right? And I did a couple of tracks for Virtual MarsCon. And it's still like, I knew that it was good because it was a distraction. I was playing things like Stairway to Rudolph and Freebird. So I knew that there was fun being had and a bit of a distraction that some people very much wanted. I was happy to supply such a thing. That being said, it doesn't mean that when writing out what I plan to do, I felt good about that. I'm like, no, this does not meet and match the cultural climate of the People's Republic of the time that I currently exist in. So, with that all said, here goes one of my very favorites, and this is one that comes out or comes from, I guess that at least you'd know it from the album Unicorns Get More Bacon. I don't necessarily perform it the way it's heard on that record, but um, I think I do it pretty interestingly solo, at the very least, somewhat interesting. What I do with this one, so you're free to contrast and compare, is I get a certain way into this song, and I turn off my brain. I just completely turn it off. Sometimes lyrics appear that were never in the song, that you know, because the song was written and rewritten for somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 years. So, here you go. I hope you enjoy it. I think it fits how I'm feeling today fairly okay. I hope it finds you well, wherever you are. And I hope that wherever you are, you're kind of disappointed that I'm going to be playing sad stuff for a little bit. Or I guess sadder stuff. There's a lot of ballads on those Marc with a C records for getting pigeonholed as being funny. I don't know how the fuck y'all did that, but anyways. I'm sorry if I wasn't there. I'm sober here, I'm so burnt out, and the trust falls away once again after falling sometimes down. It would help if you've been there before. You'd know that we need help and more. Accepting that I'm fallible after falling sometimes down. Falling sometimes down. Oh. Sometimes everyone just goes away from you. Sometimes harmful things can really distract you. Sometimes I can't help not being there for you. But if I had my say, I'd say whatever I had to, so you know that someone is out there, even when you have to stay the same, or when you have to go away after falling sometimes down, falling sometimes down. Sometimes everyone just goes away from you. Sometimes harmful things can really distract you. Sometimes I can't help not being there for you. But if I had my say, I'd say whatever I had to, so you know there's someone is out there when you have to stay the same, or when you have to go away, when you're falling sometimes down, and the mouths are open breathing words. They sing these words that sounds like curds. There's something that's as pure as light after falling sometimes down. If the door's still open, leave it wide, instead of leaving on a light, in case I stumble back in some night after falling sometimes down, falling sometimes down, falling sometimes down. Now, normally if I write something that comes off a little bit sad, I try to throw in some I don't know what's a good word for this, dangling carrots, because I want there to be hope at the end of it, but that song ends so open-endedly. I don't suppose there's much in there. But that's assuming you even grok what the fuck I'm on about within it. I'm not saying you're dumb, I'm saying I'm vague. Now, this is a tune that is hotly associated with the recording act Marc with a C, but it's not an original. And um, the way that I normally play it, now, first, to be honest, I've had a real problem retaining the lyrics to this song for years and years and years, and that's why you didn't see it in shows so often. But today, I got myself a cheat sheet, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently than it's ever been done, by me at least. On the record shock treatment interpretations, when I do dual duet, it's very, very slow and very morose. The lyrics are still very morose, but today I'm going to kick the tempo up. Not quite to where it is in the movie, but maybe somewhere close to not putting you to sleep or making you cry into your Kleenex, which means that there's mucus falling on the very thing that should be wiping the mucus away, and now you're mixing it with your tears, and there's salt in your tears, and that's just breaking it all the fuck up. And great job, Kleenex, for making biodegradable stuff, but now I can't even reach for the Kleenex that I need because I'm already too fucked up inside. Can't you come up with some kind of biodegradable Kleenex where I can slobber and drool and have my snot run all over it and not destroy it before I pick it up? Is that too much to ask? You're a loser, an abomination in the eyes of any sensitive man, and you're a blind alley cruiser, always heading down a losing street, dreaming that you're screaming at fate. You're a dead-end deadbeat, nowhere mister, with a kiss like a Mississippi alligator sister. I took as much of you as any man can. You lost your heart, you lost your cause, you lost your baby when you lost your balls, you lost your mind when you lost your grips, so say bye-bye. We lost our mom, we lost our dad, and if I'm losing you, well, that's too bad. Well, the best thing you could ever do is die. You're a failure, a malformation in the guise of many, and also ran. And you're a weeper and a wailer, always treading on the toes of the great, just spreading your weight. You're spiteful, hateful, asinine creature, a pupil with no scruples who knew better than the teacher. I took as much of you as any man can. You lost your heart, you lost your cause, you lost your baby when you lost your balls, you lost your mind, you lost your grips, so say bye-bye. We lost our home, our family. You lost compassion, now you're losing me. Well, the best thing you could ever do is die. The best thing you could ever do is die. The best thing you could ever do is die. Here's another one I didn't write, but we're getting somewhere here. That's right, I'm slowly cheering the fuck up and hopefully taking you right along with me. The 1980s, famous for many, 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 many things. Hairspray, not the play so much. I mean, I suppose that was around, maybe. I don't know. I'm not actually all that familiar with Hairspray history, but the product that you stick on your body in your hair, that, boy, that's a thing that was sold in the 80s, wasn't it? And you know what else was sold in the 80s? Night Ranger records. And you know what else was real big in the 80s? I don't know why, just being blonde. That was like a thing. That was the most desirable thing you could probably be if you owned and wore breasts, right? Bikinis, blonde people in bikinis and Speedo type things really seemed to make the 80s go round. And where there be ladies in somewhat revealing clothing, there will always be someone who didn't get the message that, hey, that body belongs to them and only them. Your opinion about it could not fucking matter less. One of those groups who did not get that message was the band Night Ranger. I do have to wonder, see, right now, there's no concerts taking place anywhere. I mean, mostly. You know who you are doing those in-person concerts. But I wonder if anybody involved in the Night Ranger Corporation looks back on this song and goes, man, that we sure did a whole lot of slut shaming. Now, for a song that is just full of slut shaming, why the fuck would I play it? Because besides that, if you leave all the guilty pleasure type ideas and what you think about 80s hair metal at the door and the trappings of a power ballad, if you forget all of that, Sister Christian is just a really cool song, or at least I think so. So I'm going to do what precisely nobody has ever asked for. Here you are. This is Marc with a C, attempting to do something with the song Sister Christian. Now this was done, if I'm not mistaken, the drummer of Night Ranger wrote and sang the tunes, this tune, but this is in the era before Jack Blades went, I don't want to make that power ballad. No. I'm Mr. You Can Still Rock in America. So you know what I'm going to do? Fuck this band. I'm leaving to go write other power ballads with that one dude from Styx and fucking Ted Nugent. We'll call it Damn Yankees. And there'll be a drummer, and they're probably really impressive on like a session level. This has been your crash course into everything that I think about before performing the song Sister Christian on camera. Sister Christian. Oh. Let's try that again. Sister Christian, all the time has come, and you know that you're the only one to say, okay, where you going, what you're looking for. You know those boys don't wanna play no more with you. It's true. Motoring, what's your price for flight? And finding Mr. Right, you'll be alright tonight. I really should have thought this out before I pressed record, but I've made my bed, and these pocket shows are definitely warts and all, so I'm just gonna keep going. It's up to you if you keep watching. Sister Christian, you're growing up so fast, and mother's worrying that you won't last to say, let's play. Sister Christian, there's so much in life. Don't you give it up before your time is due. It's true. It's true. Motoring, what's your price for flight? You've got him in your sight, and driving through the night. Motoring, what's your price for flight? You've got him in your sight, and driving through the night. What's your price to fly? Finding Mr. Right. You'll be alright tonight. Motoring. What's your price for flight? Finding Mr. Right. You'll be alright tonight. Sister Christian all the time had come, and you know you were the only one to say, okay, but you're motoring, yeah, motoring. That was the least rehearsed rendition of Sister Christian this side of anything Wesley Willis could have presented to you. My name's Marc with a C, and look, thousands of years ago, we were created by a gigantic squid. He created us all so we could be happy and free. His name is the Great Squiddy. Now, unfortunately, the Great Squiddy is a really shitty fighter, so he lost the battle between himself and the Megalodon. Yes, it's a giant shark who, because where there's a creator, there's something lurking in the shadows going, I want to fuck your shit up. You can't just make nice things, you can't have nice things. And that was the deal. If the Great Squiddy lost the fight with the Megalodon, had to be encased in a block of ice. So, as they were being put in deep freeze for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the Great Squiddy promised and vowed that when they were defrosted, they would bring forth an icy, icy, icy apocalypse. They were defrosted somewhere around 2013 and nothing happened. But looking outside, I can see, at least in the era that I'm in 2020, I think Squiddy got around to it. Why did it take Squiddy so long, you ask? Well, I don't know. I don't have a direct line to Squiddy or anything. I mean, they are the one true fucking creator. So, they're not exactly answering my calls. My assumption is that since the Great Squiddy created us all, the Great Squiddy, went home and just looked. I mean, think about it. If you are the being that created dogs, wouldn't you want to see what happened with dogs? Anyways, often when I perform this song, I ask the audience to do something that they created. This just did not come out of my brain. The first time I played this song, every time I sang the line Squiddy, 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 rock and roll, people would do this. They would put their hands together and do Squiddy fingers. And this became a running thing. Marc with a C shows just were not complete unless that took place. Now, for obvious reasons, we can't really do that here. So what I'm going to ask is, wherever you're watching this, assuredly has a comment section that you're not supposed to read. I keep telling myself in hopes that I one day remember that. However, what I would like to ask of you is pick your favorite emoji, one that will hopefully offend no one or very few. Nothing resembling hate speech or bullying, of course. And every time you hear me sing the line, Squiddy, 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 rock and roll, please post that emoji one time each. I know that it will look like you are spamming the server. You are free to change up your emoji. But please take part, because interactive singer, songwriter, storyteller Marc with a C hasn't really been giving you a whole lot of interaction in these pocket shows. It's interesting to be there, but be absent. Thank you so much for letting me do what I do. And thank you so much in advance for letting me sing about, and all the years that you've enjoyed listening to me detailing this absolutely not made-up spiritual quest to believe in the one true creator. And just in case you think that the story I'm telling you is totally bullshitty and you're really offended and this is totally sacrilegious, please grab your nearest religious text and really put your beliefs aside for a second, read it in black and white, and ask me which one is harder to believe. Once I was known for slinging bean pies. I needed a way to offset inevitable. Now I was lost in a scary ass world where I couldn't find my way. I thought that Judaism was based on words Judy Blume said. Thanks to you, oh great one, I can finally sleep at night. And I can't wait for you to get thawed from your block of ice. Yes, I love my little squiddy, though you're not little at all. And even when you're frozen, I can still hear your call. You took on the megalodon just to save my wicked soul. Squiddy, 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 rock and roll. I was a Mormon for a week, cause I got really into Big Love. It's a good show. I was a Rugratian with all due praise to Reptar. The Necronomicon made for one sleepless night. But lately Squiddy is making me feel alright. And that's why I love my little Squiddy, though you're not little at all. And even when you're frozen, I can still hear your call. You took on the megalodon just to save my wicked soul. Here we go. Squiddy, 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 rock and roll. Now it don't matter how he tastes, because he just wants your praise. And if you don't give it, then you'll soon be shivering on through meeting your icy fate. You must repent before the four-horse squids of the apocalypse spin their plankton-covered webs all over your sins. Well, I love my little Squiddy, though you're not little at all. Even when you're frozen, I can still hear your call, cause you're my favorite cephalopod, and you saved my wicked soul. Squiddy, 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 rock and roll. Squiddy, 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 rock and roll. Squiddy, 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 rock and roll. All praise, and to all a good night. As a reminder, acquiring enthusiastic consent before sexual activity of any type is never optional. It's completely fucking mandatory. Also, your body and all of the choices that surround it belong to you and only you, and I beg that you never settle for less. Lest? The hell was that word? Hey, take care of yourselves and each other. I'll see you real soon, and maybe vice versa.